Hello, my name is Bea Svistunenko. I'm a first-generation Russian immigrant, and the story I'm about to tell you, Tay'niy Tsvetok, is an early Soviet-era tale that I used to have in a colourful children's book that my mum used to read out loud to me. And I can still remember reading it with her and learning to roll my R's for the first time, which is really difficult. So it was a big moment in my Russian-speaking childhood. And I really like this story because I think it shows us that searching for one's own happiness can often prove fruitless, and that we don't really learn to be happy until we can make other people happy, which I think is a very lovely message, especially in this difficult and trying time. So this is Tay'niy Tsvetok, and I hope that you enjoy it. One day, a young girl called Dasha went to the market to bring home a string of 7 bagels for her family. On her way home, though, she got distracted with counting the crows in the birch trees when a stray dog snuck up behind her and began to eat all the treats off the string. Dasha turned around just in time to see the dirty dog devouring the very last bagel. "Oh, you horrid beast!" cried Dasha angrily as she chased the animal down the street. It didn't take long for the dog to outrun her, of course, and Dasha found herself in an unfamiliar part of town. She was very scared and very lost, and she began to cry. Suddenly, a little old lady appeared.
"Little girl, why are you crying?"
When Dasha explained what had happened, the lady took her into her back garden, saying,
"Don't worry. I'm going to help you out. I'm afraid I don't have any bagels to give you, nor do I have any money, but I do have a magical flower called Tay'niy Tsvetok. You can do anything you like."
The lady plucked a flower from the ground and gave it to Dasha. It resembled an oversized daisy with 7 translucent petals, each a different colour: yellow, red, green, indigo, orange, purple, and blue.
"This flower,"
said the lady,
"it can grant any wish that you desire. You simply have to tear off a petal, throw it to the wind, and say, 'Fly, my little petal, fly, eastward, westward, through the sky, down the south and up the north, round the globe fly back and forth. Once you settle on the ground, grant this wish I now will sound.' And then you wish for anything you like, and that wish, it will come true."
Dasha politely thanked the little old lady for her kind gift and left. She tore off the yellow petal and said, "Fly, my little petal, fly, eastward, westward, through the sky, down the south and up the north, round the globe fly back and forth. Once you settle on the ground, grant this wish I now will sound. I wish that I was home with all of my bagels." No sooner had she finished speaking than Dasha found herself at home with a string of freshly baked bagels. "This really is a wonderful flower. I had better put it in the best vase." Dasha was a very little girl, so she clambered onto a stool to reach for her mamma's favourite vase, which stood on the highest shelf. In that moment, unfortunately, some crows flew by the window outside, and Dasha immediately wanted to count them. She started counting on the fingers of her hands, forgetting that she was holding the vase, which fell to the floor with a crash and shattered. "Hey, Butterfingers! Have you broken something again?" called Dasha's mamma from the kitchen. "I hope it's not my favourite vase." "No, Mamma, I haven't broken anything. You must have misheard," Dasha shouted back, hurriedly tearing off the red petal, chanting the magical rhyme, and finishing off with, "I wish that Mamma's vase was whole again." Immediately, the shards began collecting themselves and reassembling back into the vase's original shape. Dasha's mamma came running in from the kitchen, but look! Her favourite vase was there on the highest shelf, looking as beautiful as ever. Dasha went on to make more wasteful and selfish wishes. When the boys in the yard refused to let her play explorers with them, she spent a wish on going to the real North Pole. When she found herself there, alone and freezing and attacked by 7 terrifying polar bears, she spent another wish coming home. She was gripped with envy when she saw how many toys the girls in the next door yard had, and Dasha wished for all the toys in the world. But when she was besieged by every doll, ball, pram, train, aeroplane, and skipping rope in the Soviet Union, she promptly wished for them all to go back to where they came from. Dismayed, Dasha walked down the street and saw that she had only 1 petal remaining on her cherished Tay'niy Tsvetok. I suppose I'll just have to choose carefully next time. Walking down the street, deliberating over her options, Dasha suddenly saw a young boy sat on the bench by the gate. He had big blue eyes that were cheerful, but also gentle. It was clear straight away that he never picked any fights. Dasha was overcome with a desire to say hello. Hi. What's your name?
Kolya. What's yours?
Dasha. Want to play chase?
I can't, I'm afraid. I'm lame.
And Dasha saw that the sole of one of Kolya's shoes was thicker than the other, and he had a crutch propped up against the bench that she hadn't noticed before.
I can't do anything about it. It's a lifelong condition.
Oh, what silly things you say, boy. Watch this. She gently plucked off the final blue petal, squeezed it tight for a second, and said, Fly, my little petal, fly, eastward, westward through the sky, down the south and up the north, round the globe fly back and forth. Once you settle on the ground, grant this wish I now will sound. I wish that Kolya was well and healthy again. Suddenly, Kolya leapt up from the bench, abandoning his crutch, and began running. He ran so fast and so free that Dasha could barely keep up, try as she might. The end.